So I didn't even upload my other video that I made because I'm too lazy to do that right now. My account, I'm not even signed into my YouTube account right now. I'm on my school account because my school computer is the only thing that has a good thing that I can record on. But anyway, so I also didn't actually like edit my other video because my phone has no space, and also because I'm too lazy for that too. So maybe I'll like edit it. Maybe I won't. I probably won't be editing that because like it takes a lot of work to do that, and I don't even know how I would get that video on my phone. Like I'm just not sure about that. And I don't have a charger that I can do it with, so I don't know. But I decided to like react to something of like Jubilee, react to something about Jubilee because I was bored. So okay. So I'm just trying to find a video right now because I'm bored. Biden voters, Trump versus Biden voters. Oh wow. What if there was a video on here of like what if there's a video on here that was like, are you smarter than an eighth grade? I mean, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Is it bad? It's really bad that I would fail that, and I'm literally so close to going to ninth grade. I'm in eighth grade. So, child, I'm trying to find a video now. I'm trying to find a good video, bro. Like, what the heck? Okay, let me. Now I should have found the video beforehand, but I like already started recording, so I don't know, bro. Oh, middle ground is what I'm looking for. So I'm not gonna be reacting to this.
It's not your land.
Child, I'm not.
You can tell me.
Okay, that video just would not pause. Flat earthers. Can LGBTQ plus and Christians see eye to eye? I know I'm gonna be mad about that. Liberals and conservatives fight labels and stereotypes. Okay. Since I am a liberal, I will be watching this video. By the way, I'm not a conservative, but if you are a conservative, that's good for you. I don't agree with you, but that's good for you. The reason that I don't agree with being conservative is because conservatives like to keep it old fashioned, like keep things the way they are, like always. They like to keep things the way they are mostly. And the liberals kind of like to change things. And I feel like that things shouldn't always stay the same. Things should change sometimes. So I don't know. Let's do this, guys. Please
I
please don't copyright me.
identify as a liberal because I was raised by a super strong feminist mother, and I believe in equal rights for all human beings.
By definition, I'm a conservative because I voted for Donald Trump.
Oh my, I don't like this man already. If you're a Trump supporter, I don't like you. Even if you're a nice person, I don't like you. You're not a nice person because you voted. Actually, if you can't be a nice person because you voted for Trump.
The liberal policies are more humanistic, inclusive, less restrictive.
I believe that my conservative values align most with my morals.
Your values. Personally, I have like, so I'm pretty sure my dad's side of the family is like more conservative, because actually they don't actually live here. Most of them, only a few people in his family like live here, and they're like mostly uncles and cousins, or they're not technically our uncles, or I guess they are, but they're mostly like our cousins and uncles. But there's not much like his immediate family doesn't live here, and a lot of people of his family, they live in Iraq. So I actually have never met them, even my grandma that's on his side. But anyway, so personally, I am a liberal, but like my family like has different beliefs. I don't know about my mom. I think she is a liberal, and I don't know about my dad. I think my brother he doesn't have a view yet on that. My mom is a liberal. My sister's a liberal. I think my dad. I think he's a mix, maybe in between. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he might lean more conservative. But anyway, I guess let's just post this video.
I am nervous about what is going to happen today.
Even I'm a bit nervous too, and I'm not even there.
I think these topics are, I think they're really sensitive to a lot of people, and a lot of people feel very strongly, and a lot of feelings get hurt, and we see that in society and stuff like that. So,
I'm nervous because, like, yeah, we were forming relationships, like talking, getting to know each other outside. Just like, now is it all gonna change? Like, let's hope not.
I believe that if you don't vote, you shouldn't complain.
Honestly, I believe that too, but personally, I can. It depends. If you're 18 or older and you can vote but you don't vote, then you have no right to complain. But if you're under and you want to vote but you can complain, I guess. Because there's a lot of people. I understand why they don't vote because like maybe both candidates they don't want any of the candidates. But like yeah.
I personally think that in my opinion, it's your civic duty to vote.
Yep, exactly.
And I don't see why you can complain if you didn't take the initiative to go out and let your voice be heard.
And that's what it is. People should be going out and making their voices heard, and that should be just general, like what we do, because that's what we are supposed to do. Oh, somebody else will take care of it. Oh, it's not my problem. Oh, I don't know.
I just felt butterflies on my stomach for a second. For no reason. Like, I'm literally just watching a video about liberals and conservative.
Most of the people I know that didn't vote kind of non-voted their conscience. And yet, I think that everyone should still have a say and a right to be participating. I wouldn't want to just silence someone.
But then they
because
should be
didn't vote.
participating. That's the issue. Is they aren't participating.
Could they not see any value in the local elections at all?
Yeah, there's a lot of things other than that's one vote
So,
out of probably 40
your
people.
friends, do they go, look, I saw no value in any local election at all? Zero. Nothing. I don't care about any local election.
You guys do realize a lot of the people being affected by Trump are people who can't even vote. So if they're complaining, I'm like, go ahead, complain. You've been here since you were 5 months old. You still can't vote. Or you're going to tell those people they don't have a right to complain?
I think those people have a right to complain. However, my beliefs and my thoughts are pointing towards people who have all of the rights and the ability to register to vote or to vote and choose not to.
No, yes, I agree.
I kind of do agree. There are a lot of people that can't vote that are being like affected by Trump, which I'm mostly talking. Okay, so I get like I'm talking mostly about the people who are underage. There's a lot of stuff that Trump has done that have affected those people especially, and it's sad that they can't vote. They can't do anything. They'll get to when they're older, but they'll have to deal with it till he's just not in office anymore, and I feel bad for them.
You guys, your premise that if you can vote, vote. People who cannot vote, they don't have that right.
That's true.
So that's why I disagree.
Not gonna lie, I didn't vote. So all y'all in the comments, you guys can put it in there now.
I think Donald Trump is doing the best job that he can.
Don't you dare go over there.
I had to think about that.
How are you? This man. I don't like you. I don't like him. Okay, he's not doing the best he can. First of all, have you guys seen how bad COVID is going? How bad it was going because of him? And how his Trumpies won't wear a mask and how he wouldn't wear one and how he got COVID. And also, not only that, there's a lot of stuff that he put in place. He put the trans ban in the military in place. He made it so you could discriminate against LGBT people. Like, doctors could say no to them. And not only that, but he's racist. So that's one thing. And he was calling the virus the Chinese virus, the Kung flu, which means he's racist against black people and Asian people and Mexican or Hispanic people I guess, and stuff. So I don't see why you would ever say that, sir, or whoever, whatever you are, I guess.
It was my personal favorite. I don't agree with a lot of the ways he conducted himself in his presidential campaign. But I think if we look at him versus look at him from before he was elected president, he's a very, very different person.
He still has 43 sexual assault allegations. Some are minors. And he's not a different person. He's still the same person.
We're not in World War III, so we still have the same freedoms. We can still talk about him. We can still not like him. We can still all these things. And I think that he could be doing a worse job than he's doing right now. It could be much worse.
I think he's doing the worst job.
My thing is like, when did it be okay for him to be the least common denominator? When was it okay for our president, the leader of this country, to be, oh, well, he was not as bad as he could be?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but on January 20th, I said, you know what, I hope he does the best job. Just like I did when President Obama did, I said, I hope he does, because I have to put my faith in the office of the president. Regardless of who holds it, whoever that is, they deserve my respect.
The only reason
Finally, a conservative who didn't vote for Trump. Thank God you didn't vote for Trump. Thank you so much. I still don't like that you're conservative, but thank you for not voting for him.
voted for him, or the primary reason was because Ben Carson came out and supported him. That's how a conservative would behave. He's not going to be swearing. He's not going to go through divorces. He's not going to be on the news saying stupid things. That is what a conservative person would look like to me, not like Donald Trump.
Back we go.
I think the people of the opposite party are either misinformed or simply do not know better.
I agree. So I'm a liberal, and I think that about the conservative people. How are you going to sit down?
I just think that people don't know. You get different experiences, so you're going to learn differently. You're going to see things through different lenses.
I feel like there's misinformation on a lot of the conservative side. You guys have InfoWars. You guys have things that are blatantly saying.
Honestly, what I don't like about conservatives is you can see. Okay, I'm going to name some major conservatives that are really annoying. Most of the conservatives are annoying and not at all progressive at all. They're trying to stay in the old ways of doing things, the old things and stuff. Sometimes new is better than old. And you can't always stay. You can't always look on the past. You can't always stay on how things were. You sometimes gotta change things up, you know? And, like, for example, if you keep your same phone for years and years, it will eventually break when not function correctly, and because of how outdated it is. You probably won't be able to download any apps from this time or get updates from any apps they do have because it's outdated. So I feel like a lot of things you should just change is good sometimes. Now, but my problem, like, I'm gonna name some conservatives that I found. There's that girl Lauren on TikTok, Lauren Kim. There's Christian Walker. There's Candace Owens. There's Ben Shapiro. They all rub me the wrong way, and I really don't like either of them because they're just not good people. And what Christian Walker does that annoys me, he criticizes people about not working hard when he doesn't have a job. His parents pay for his tuition. His dad's a wife beater, I've heard. And also, not only that, but he also still lives with his parents, or so I've heard. And also with Lauren, she's just really annoying. The fact that Christian Walker is half black, he's mixed, and he's a Trump supporter, that's not good. Lauren is Asian. She's a Trump supporter, and Trump doesn't like her. He doesn't want her. And we have with especially the conservative hype house. What rubs me the wrong way about conservatives? They always make jokes about blue-haired girls and gay people, and it's just not okay. I don't like those jokes. They're really offensive, and I just can. Well, with Candace Owens, she spreads a lot of misinformation, and with Ben Shapiro, he's always, how do I say this? He's annoying and transphobic. So I don't like him. I don't like any of them. They're annoying.
Book was fake. That the hurricanes are to populate climate change. Like that we have an agenda, as in like there's another reason for us besides saving humanity to try and do something about what we're causing.
It just comes back to, what do you believe to be true and why? I think sometimes when I've had interactions with people that disagree, there's so much emotion attached to it, and it's hard.
I'm glad you don't think we're misinformed. I appreciate
Well,
it.
I think it's interesting because like I was listening to Jen when you were talking about the kind of things that you feel like conservatives disagree upon or think about, and I think you're discussing a radical sect of conservatism,
Which
and
is what is promoted.
It's not, but that is not what most people are relating to.
No, honestly, radical conservatism, that's really all I see from the conservative. Especially like if you look on the news, social media, that's all I see from them, honestly. Sure, there are, I don't, that is all everybody really sees. They only see the bad side of conservative, the radical sides of conservatives. And well, that gives a reason of why I don't really like conservatives, because of a lot of their stuff that they do and believe. And I've seen that side of them, and I get that they're not all like that, but a lot of them are. So
If you went out,
But you're associating yourself with those values. So you
in
put
what way
yourself
are we
on that
associating
side.
with those values?
That's there. You have the white supremacists who are like, we're Christian. You have the.
But unfortunately, that's not what most people agree with. If you were to
I mean, the same
support
thing
white
with
supremacy,
Muslims. The same thing with. I mean, most of those people are great.
my biggest problem right now is that each party is painted with one broad stroke of everybody falls under 10 things. And I think making sure.
The challenge, at least the reason I didn't come in, because I don't think the other side is misinformed, but I think we're informed differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Social media allows you to interact with people.
personally, I do think conservatives are misinformed.
They're very, very different. If you guys friend me on Facebook, you'll see I'm friends with more people that disagree with me than agree with me. I don't care what you believe. I'm really, really, really interested in like 8 whys. Like, I believe this. Well, why? I believe this. Why? Why?
Honestly, with being friends of people with the different views, there's something I will do. Maybe I'll be friends with a conservative. Personally, none of my friends are conservative. Maybe I'll be like friends with a conservative. Maybe I could, but there's one thing that I'll never be able to be a friend with. If you're a Trump supporter, I won't be your friend. I won't like you at all. I'll hate you. Maybe if you're a conservative too, but it depends on the type of conservative. Depends. It really depends on who the person is and what they stand for, what they're saying, and what they do and stuff.
And that's something that only happens when you develop a friendship or a lot of interaction.
I am proud to be an American.
No, God, I'm not. I'm not proud. I'd rather be from a different place because I don't like America. It's just annoying. I just don't like it here.
And to think about that a little bit. It's like, you might love your child, but not be happy with how they're acting right now. And I see things that upset me and embarrass me about how we are. And yet, our possibilities, the way we respond to people all over the world, or kind of our values, I'm still proud, but not maybe as proud as I used to be.
There's a lot of freedom in what you can say, and I think there's a lot of power in that, because I know a lot of people in other countries, if they say anything about their government, like they'll disappear the next day. And I get to not only voice my opinion, but also live it, being able to do whatever you want to do, make who you want out of yourself. That's something awesome.
I was surprised by someone's response today.
Wait, is this over?
Idea of how this was going to be more simple.
Important today, my beliefs and irritations were this crazy something that we like that centrist message, or maybe that
Personally, I'll be skipping this part because, well, actually, I don't know if I'll skip it, but I was just answering the questions kind of in my views. But anyways, it's the whole video, I guess. So I will be doing another one. How long is this video? So this video is like super long, but I'm gonna do another one, I guess. Hold on. Ooh, can you be in love with multiple people?
I don't know, like, are you not jealous?
Wait, actually, hold on. I saw another one. Wait, I wanna like do something that I can maybe I'll do a video that I may relate to, and that I maybe have like an opinion on or whatever. But can sex workers and pastors find middle ground? I'm gonna actually do. Can feminists and non-feminists agree on gender equality? Personally, I have to say personally that I am not a feminist. I have nothing against women, nothing against like the movement or whatever. I just have something against some of the people who are in it. I have a problem with TERFs, and I just feel like because of that, I cannot be a feminist because of TERFs. Because I don't want to associate myself with. I know not everyone who's a feminist is a TERF, but I don't want to associate myself with those people who are TERFs, because it makes me sad to just see all that stuff that they're saying, and it just makes me like really upset, so why is this website called GoDaddy? Like, child, no. Okay.
Men are making choices for us women about birth control, abortion, healthcare.
Honestly, this is so true, because like there's lots of stuff that men are saying like no, this isn't gonna be a thing or whatever. For example, tampons and pads. They're saying that they shouldn't be free. They're saying that birth control. They're making choices on birth control and stuff. And all stuff like that. Like, if men had periods too, tampons and pads would be free. Say the roles were reversed and men had to take birth control, and men had to like use tampons and pads. If they'd be free. You could get them so easily, and they would be free. You can get tampons and pads easily, but not birth control. They'd be easy to get and free, maybe. Easy to get and free, because if men had them too, but they don't, so they don't understand the struggle of it, I agree with her.
Everything, and we can't even have a say on it because they won't even hear us.
I have my non-feminists in the left spotlight, and my feminists in the right spotlight. The feminist movement has changed from its original definition.
I agree. I agree a bit, I guess, but
The reason why I hesitated is because I started to think about who is most served by mainstream feminism. I don't personally think that has changed. I think that white, heterosexual, cisgendered women are most served by mainstream feminism.
When I heard the definition,
I agree.
I was like, yeah, I'm a feminist. Like, yeah, I believe in equality of sexes. Of course I do. But it changed the more that I researched the movement, the more that I saw how mainstream media portrayed it. And to me, it's like there's a lot of issues that happen to men in disproportionate amounts that are always overlooked.
so feminism, the definition definitely has changed. And the way that it is portrayed, but portrayed like by like other. Wait, what was he saying? So the way that the feminism is like portrayed and like defined, I guess, by everybody on the internet, it's like lots of people define it. I see it as hatred of men, wanting women's rights and no men's rights, wanting nobody's rights except for women's. That's not true, by the way. But also, people make feminists look like they make them look like SJWs. They make them look like they get offended over everything. They do that. They kind of make feminism look like a joke. A lot of people do, and it's sad. But
No one talks about the suicide rate. No one talks about the homelessness rate for men. And it sucks because if your whole movement is based around equality of the sexes, right, and to make sure both sexes are equal, then that covers the whole spectrum, right? It's not just one sex, it's equality.
let me tell you. I get there are a lot of men's issues too, but the reason why we focus on mostly women's issues, it's not even just in America, because in America, women have a lot more things than they have in other countries. If you guys don't know, like for example, like feminism is about equal rights. It's about they want equal rights, the same rights as men do, and I get that women basically have that in America, but they kind of don't. There's some stuff that they like. An abortion is a women's right, and in lots of states it's illegal, or in some states it's illegal, and in some states, like I'm pretty sure this law was made by a man. But if a woman has a miscarriage, she can literally be arrested and charged, even though it's not her fault. But women in other countries, they have it like a lot worse. That's the reason why feminism is still here and strong, because there's so much women who still need it to be who still need help. There's so much women in other countries. And for example, in some cultures, there's a thing called genital mutilation for women, where they mutilate their genitals basically. And also, and if you guys don't know Malala Yousafzai, she was fighting for the education of girls and women. And that's because in lots of countries, women don't have the rights to education because they're women. And that's still, also in lots of countries, women are just not treated equally. They're treated inferior. In lots of countries, like women are like, they're not only are they seen as inferior, but like they're just seen as like, how do I explain this? They just put them as inferior. And even in lots of religions, a lot of the times, like, excuse me, in religions, sometimes even, like, in lots of religions, the guys that follow the religions, they criticize their daughter or their wife or some woman that they know for doing things. They're sexist against them. A lot of people are like that in a lot of cultures. But then they let men do what they want without men being criticized in lots of cultures and religions and stuff. And it's just not fair. I feel like that's why they're still fighting for the rights, you know.
The title of feminist inherently excludes men.
Are you kidding me? The reason that it's called feminism and mostly centered around females is because of what I just told you. And because in most countries, first of all, not men can have education, men can be leaders. Men are the ones who were deciding that the women can have education in lots of countries. They're being the leaders, they're being all that stuff. And not only that, but men are not shamed for as much stuff as women are. Women just have to do with so much stuff and all that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that women should control. that men try to control, that they're in charge of, that they get a say in, that they shouldn't have a say in. And in lots of like, even in like lots of back, like for example, we wouldn't have feminism if women and men always were equal and always had the same rights. Women used to not be able to buy land. Women used to not be able to vote. Men used to be able to beat their husbands. Now that's not the way it is anymore. That men get to beat their husband, beat their wives. But it was. That's why I feel like this thing is a thing, because there's still guys out there, a bunch of them, abusing their wives. And I'm not saying that women don't like abuse men sometimes. Men abuse women, women abuse men sometimes, men abuse women sometimes. But I'm saying that back then it was illegal for a woman to do it. And like even these days it's just hard for women. And I get that you guys are like saying, "Oh, what about men?" But men have it easier.
But the definition doesn't. Male privilege is real.
You all better sit down. I hate that man already. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys why male privilege is real. So, men can go out at night without having to be scared of being kidnapped. A lot of women carry pepper spray because they're scared of being kidnapped or raped. Now, I know you guys are saying, "Oh, well, it happens to men too. They can be kidnapped and raped." But it's true. But like, women have to worry about it more and stuff when they go out, especially. And people always tell women, call them sluts for doing stuff. There's a double standard for sex with men and women. There's a double standard with that. And also in like, if you see in a lot of cultures, like men get more than women do. No matter how hard they work, they always favor the men. They always give the men more. And also, a lot of people say like, "Oh, women have to do this, women have to do that, do this, do that." And when men don't do it, everyone just says it's okay and stuff. And men just, there's a lot of examples of male privilege. All that stuff, like what I just said first of all. And also it's just easier for men. Like women get shamed for so much things that men don't get shamed for. If a woman does stuff with multiple like men, she'll get slut shamed and stuff. If a man does stuff with multiple women, he'll be praised for it. It'll be celebrated and stuff. And as you can see, do you guys know how much rape victims are raped by men and they don't get their thing because nobody believes them? Now I know you guys are like boys get raped too, but it's mostly also by men. They get raped by men, and the men don't get any punishment. So they can literally just do that. That's just how it is and stuff. You know.
It's not lost on me how many more men are in academia and in higher education, or women are told more often to put their careers on hold in order to have children or for whatever other reasons. That's just kind of the way I see it manifesting most in my life, is just seeing how hard it is to be an intellectual woman in academia. My name is Faith, and I am not a feminist. I am a strong woman, and I was raised by strong women, but I cannot get behind a few of the core ideals of what it often means to be a feminist, so I do not identify as one.
My mother is a teacher. She has her master's. She has years and years of experience, and yet her place within the school, her place within, as far as like authority over students, is not the same as a man. And I think that's an inequality that I've just been shown from my mother, who comes home and says, I just had the worst day at work because I was uncomfortable the entire time. Or I had a strange experience with a male student who just like would not listen to a word that I said.
I was gonna say something, but I'm kind of. Oh, I got it. Also, like, if you guys like don't know, men get away with a lot of stuff. Like, they can take advantage of women and still get away with it, and stuff like that. And it's not like the person who takes advantage of them doesn't get punished and stuff. You know, it's just not fair. Like you
Wasn't
saying.
connecting. It wasn't until I brought in the vice principal who was male or another teacher who was male that things could be kind of squashed and covered.
Of course, it's two guys that don't agree with male privilege, bruh. You guys are trash.
As growing up, I would say that overall our school systems are more geared towards women. There's more female teachers, and that's how our children are raised. The things that you're alluding to.
Having more female teachers in the school doesn't have to do with male privilege. You guys obviously don't know. Doesn't have to do. That doesn't mean that there's no male privilege just because there's more female teachers in schools.
Your mom has to deal with those difficulties that a man would not have to deal with. Men have to deal with a lot of difficulties that most women wouldn't have to deal with. We do benefit from certain privileges, but so do women.
I think you considered it a privilege that there are more women in the teaching profession, but you should also consider that other options weren't necessarily or historically available to women because they were considered to.
I get that too. Like, if you guys don't know, like, there's a lot of videos like that are based there. I don't know, like that they're saying that whenever they like go to like a car dealership, they like them guys like they basically make them feel dumb because they think, oh, women don't know anything about cars and stuff like that. And also, like, there's a lot of work that I don't know if you guys saw that show, but it was about firefighters and the women. The women firefighter that was with them. They were treating her horrible. They were like making her feel inferior because she was a woman firefighter. She didn't even get to go out and do the stuff that they were doing, like the firefighting stuff. And there's stuff like that in construction workers. That's something that women don't really do, and it's because that.
And to be more nurturing, a lot of women were pushed into that field.
Still, women are choosing these majors and choosing their region of study, whereas men are tending to choose higher paying majors. They're choosing more to go into STEM fields and such like that, and reaping the financial benefits, while women are also reaping their own happiness benefits of going into a field that they enjoy.
If I were born the opposite sex.
What was it called? Child, I swear, these guys, these two, that guy in the jacket and that guy in like the red shoes, they look so stupid right now, bro. I'm like serious. Why is she the only one going? I guess the guys shouldn't go there because I guess it wouldn't be easy as a woman.
I started to walk over just thinking inherently the privileges that men in this society have and how they're able to navigate far easier and all of that stuff. And then I thought what it would be like to be a black man in this society. And I don't know that it would be any easier.
I am first generation Mexican American. I have two Mexican parents. If I were to be born a male Mexican, it'd be so much easier for just that reason. I try to break off from those stereotypes of Melanie gets a table ready for dinner. Excuse me, I have two brothers that can do the exact same thing. Why can't they do it? Why do I have to do it? My name is Melanie Valdez, and I am on the feminist side. I had an incident where I was sexually assaulted, and that changed my whole perspective.
If I was born any other thing than I am, I would have to struggle differently than I have already struggled. And, compared to some people in, minorities or some people that are white, have struggled more than me. There's always a positive and a negative that you're born with, and it's how you utilize that and get over it that I think is important rather than focusing on if I was born this or if I was born that.
I think it is kind of what we make of it. And I'd almost say that to want to be anything different than what we are is possibly even defeating the purpose of the feminist movement. A big part of feminism is telling women that they're worth it already, that they're already enough. I have a little sister. I have friends who were told by their father, by their older brother, that you are enough. And now they're doing whatever they want because they were told they could. They were given the opportunity from the beginning. And they weren't told, well, if you were a man, you could. No. They were told, you are a woman and you can because of who you are.
Not sure that having a community that affirms who you are is enough. If the society and the structure and the laws and the policies that govern tell you otherwise. My parents told me I could do whatever I want to do. And so I went to law school and I'm an attorney and I write, but I don't make as much as my coworker who does the exact same thing and who I'm probably am more qualified than.
From the statistics that I read, there was no wage gap, bills and earnings
So
gap.
it's your understanding that there is no wage gap between men and women.
Yes, there's an earning gap. Different positions, different schooling can also be a factor. You can have the same degree but from two different schools, and they'll pay someone from better school different. How the interviews go, even negotiable, entry salaries.
Why then are women choosing jobs that pay less?
Culture.
Men and women need to work together to create equality.
I think one of the reasons that I can take issue with certain types of feminism is it does come across as anti-man sometimes. It comes across as it's your fault. If I go to the Women's March and I see signs that say smash the patriarchy and like our P-word bites back and stuff like that, that's as much as that's speaking against an oppressive top culture, that's speaking to all men, and I don't see that as helpful.
Well, I think all men benefit from patriarchy. I mean, you need to acknowledge your privilege first. If people could hear that about themselves and not be defensive, I think that we could probably push the needle forward a lot faster.
Something that plagues the feminist movement is that there's this idea that in order to gain equal footing, the other side has to be emasculated or has to be dropped down.
And it's not. This isn't pie. You know what I mean? Just because I get a slice doesn't mean you get you get less, right? Like just because, advocating for women's rights doesn't infringe upon men's rights.
Yeah, you guys are just annoying and privileged. You guys are just annoying and privileged. Especially some of these people. It doesn't infringe on men's rights at all. Guys think it will do that, but it doesn't. There are a lot of places and stuff where feminism is a thing in the United States. It's a big and alive thing. It's more accepted here. But in in some countries, if you're a celebrity who supports feminism, people will attack you. Almost every man there sees it as you just trying to take their rights. And there are countries with pay wage gap where the women always get paid less. I'm gonna give you an example. There's Korea. They have men get paid more. Not only that, but a lot of the men there, they see feminism as a thing to take away their rights. For example, you know how you saw Joy from Red Velvet, she advocated for feminism. She supported feminism, but they attacked her because they were like, oh, she's going to try to take away our rights and stuff. But they don't understand, they're guys, that feminism won't take away their rights, really take away their rights at all.
First and second wave feminism, very clear in very particular things that they were trying to accomplish. You had first wave feminism, which was very clearly trying to get the right to vote. Second wave feminism, right after World War II and such, helping women progress in the workplace and such. And now I see third wave feminism, and it is a broken apart, can be lost movement that goes in so many directions, has so many extra qualifiers. And I think about, I was talking to one of my friends who went to the Women's March with a pro-life feminist group. And she said on multiple accounts they were asked to leave because that's not why the Women's March was happening, that they were against the movement.
Honestly, I agree with them. If you're going to a women's march and you're pro life, honestly, just don't go. Just stay at home and don't go. Because being against abortion and trying to make it illegal, by doing that, you're taking away a woman's right. Now you guys are like, oh my god, no, the baby's right to live. But think about it. There are a lot of instances women couldn't get abortions even for urgent emergencies, like if they were about to die and they couldn't give birth to that baby or else they would die. Then what will happen then? Are they just gonna die? The baby will have no mother. Like, I get that it's better to have no mother than die, but why would you just let the mother die? You should let the mother live. Honestly, and being pro-life is not being pro-women. So just stop it. Like, being pro-life is not okay. You should not be pro-life.
And so you have all these different types of feminism. There doesn't seem to be a clear center and a clear desire. And I hear people call themselves feminists for all different reasons. And with some of them, I would agree, and I would call myself a feminist for those reasons. But because it's so all over the place, I just can't call myself a feminist.
If feminists can make a concise push towards one issue together, would I be willing to join? If I agreed with the point, yes. If I agreed with what the movement was going for, yes.
As a woman, I'm not sure that I'm concerned whether or not you want to join as a man.
Is that not part of the issue?
But that's segregating that's
First of all, why should she be concerned on whether you want to join or not? She doesn't need you to join. Nobody needs you to join. It's not segregating. Please stop being an idiot. Don't you ever compare that to segregating ever. God, this guy is actually annoying me right now.
segregating genders. If you're saying that you don't care about my opinion as a man, that goes.
You don't get in for listen. The reason that we're here with feminism is because of the reason we have feminism and that we're trying to fight for women's rights is because of men's opinion. So if you want equality, just shut up. Don't give your opinion, please, because your opinion is not needed. As a man, your opinion is not needed or wanted. Okay? So just be quiet.
No, I don't care about reshaping and forming my feminism in a way that is digestible for you as a man.
So what's the current one message?
The definition of feminism across the board is the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Yes. Why are we only talking about the female inequalities? Why aren't we talking about the male inequality?
Because you guys have more privilege. Because there's issues. There's lots of stuff that sure, feminism is basically focusing on women's issues. But that's because women have been having so much more issues than men over the years. Men have been having so much more rights and privilege and stuff. And they're still getting that. That's why, sir. And also, as a man, you don't really get it. Doesn't no your opinion really doesn't matter on feminism. Nobody wants your opinion. It's not needed or wanted.
We do not have the same experience. You are not oppressed in the same ways that I am.
No, and I'm sure you're not oppressed in the same ways that I am.
You're oppressed. Okay. First of all, that man is oppressed in one way because I can see that I think he's a person of color, and that woman is oppressed in two ways. She's a woman, and she's black. So, child, don't you dare compare. Your experiences are very different, as she said. She's right. I say your experiences are very different.
More of our world leaders should be women.
I agree. Because as you can see, if the world leaders were women, I'd feel like instead of just straight up fighting, we would be more open to talk. We would be more, I feel like it'd be more smart in this world. For example, if you guys can see how much there's countries where men get drafted for the wars, and that's actually because men are starting the wars. Maybe if there was women as president and leaders, there really wouldn't be that. There wouldn't be wars. There wouldn't be all this stuff happening. It'd be a better place, you know. How was he saying? Okay, I thought he was about to say no.
Gentlemen, welcome to the project. The project is a 75-hour experience. It's for men just like you who know that you're meant for more, who know that you might have areas in your life that you're not performing at your highest level. You know you've got greater potential, and there's a higher purpose for you here. The project is not an experience. It's also a process. It's like administering chemotherapy to a cancerous area of the body, and it's going to unearth and expose.
No, thank you. I'm not that manly.
Let's talk about for like this, like abortion. Those who signed the bill in the room with Trump, they were all white men. I did not see a single woman. Like, just it doesn't matter if it's a white woman. I did not see a single woman in there. So those men are making choices for us women about birth control, abortion, healthcare.
She's right.
And we can't even have a say on it because they won't even hear us.
I don't view it as we should have more women.
Honestly, after this video, I'm kind of considering being a feminist. Now, you guys know my reasons for not wanting to be a feminist. Sure, I shouldn't like generalize everyone in the feminism thing, but like you guys know my reasons, and I might consider like being one after this because the feminists are all making like good points, and these guys aren't really making good points, honestly. And I know for those of you incels agreeing with them. For those of you incels agreeing with them, I'm gonna say it. You are trash. You are trash. Thank you, but thank you for being trash. Actually, that's not what I meant to say. I said thank you for something. I don't even know.
In office, I view it as we should have the most qualified people in office. If you have an issue with, the bill being signed by white men, I believe that voting for Congress people that are women, or whoever you review and believe are the most qualified, will put those people in power.
If we are talking about the last election, I believe that the most qualified candidate did not win. People need to really consider what role gender played in that.
Just logically, the people that they're representing are both men and women, so the people representing us should be men and women. And it would be really hard for me to ever understand why people wouldn't think that there should be more women in leadership. I love women. I love being a woman. I love strong women. I was raised by strong women. I don't agree with all of the things that are traditionally included in feminist beliefs. Like, I have a different view on abortion than you guys, so that's a big deal for me. That's one of the most important things to me. I'm a Christian, and that's just one of my beliefs. So that's kind of, for me, that's one of the driving forces why I don't identify as a feminist.
To divide into two teams gender-wise is not Spartan. It's not often what we do, but it is sometimes. And how do we avoid that? And how do we avoid that separation? How do we make it a collective effort, even though I'm a conservative white man? And,
Ew, why are you conservative?
there are different views than me.
Honestly, this guy is very annoying. He annoyed me throughout the whole video. He literally said they said, like, him and that man said that it's he said, not this guy, but the other guy said that it was segregation for them not to be in that, like, what the heck.
And I don't want to force you to agree with me. I don't want to change your mind in that way, but I want to see how I can still work with you fully and be on your team, and you can be on mine as we disagree.
Okay, so that's all, but I just want to tell you, like, if you agree with that blonde conservative man or you agree with that guy in the jacket, you're trash. I guess thank you for watching. I said it sounds like I said washing. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. I'm going to be making another video tonight, probably about another Jubilee video. But yeah, Goodbye.